By the end of the day, we had over 25 agents in our house and over 10-hour long experience.
You know, watching 3 agents each in each of our sons' bedrooms in blue vinyl gloves, sorting through our sons' clothing, poetry, journals from high school.
It was a complete surprise and shock.
One of the FBI agents looked out the front window and saw a 10-year-old neighbor girl with a peace sign, you know, just the circle with the crow's foot in it. And the FBI agent got upset and he cursed and he said, "Look at that little kid, she's got a peace sign. They're having a peace protest in front of this house." And you know, really the reason that people came is because they were afraid for us.
We already by midday had a sense of solidarity, and certainly by that night we're so very touched by so many people that were coming really out of concern. I don't know, it was protests that first night in some ways, but just an outpouring, and it set the tone for the whole campaign. I think that to break the isolation, to break the shame or any kind of feeling like that, and to stand tall, stand tough.
I'll be honest, I have not been much of a solidarity activist. I'm a leader in my union. I work at UIC. Going back some years, my union, SEIU Local 73, we got involved in support for Colombian trade unionists. And one of the people who's been subpoenaed, Tom Burke, lives in Michigan but used to be on the executive board of my local. He had traveled to Colombia and was, you know, became like a brother to this one Coca-Cola worker.
When you mention the word travel, I think it's really important for people. In our situation, we had never even been to Colombia or been to the Middle East. And when people hear that, I think it kind of jars them to realize that this really was a political fishing expedition, a political witch hunt.
The FBI has a long history of that, and it's gotten worse.
There is no doubt that the raid and what's happened since has been a big shock, and that it has had a big effect on the 14 people and other people too. It is overwhelming when you are singled out and by such a mighty, mighty force with such vindictiveness, where the stakes are so very, very high. So absolutely, there has been a cost in how we live our lives. And an enormous amount of stress and different, you know, certain things that we do are different. But in terms of our activism or our beliefs, I think in a way it's made us stronger. Being a part of this has in some ways made me feel more connected to the people that have suffered and more determined. So we heard from a lot of old friends. We appreciate our relationships in our life more. There's a lot of positive sides, and mostly we're unbowed. So